I remember that fateful night like it was yesterday. It was a moonless night when 4 of us embarked on a road trip along the desolate and eerie highway. As we drove deeper into the darkness, a foreboding feeling crept up my spine. The road seemed endless, surrounded by dense forests and ominous shadows. The silence was deafening, broken only by the faint whispers of the wind. My friends laughed nervously, trying to ease the tension, but I couldn't shake off the unsettling feeling that something was watching us from the shadows. In the distance, we spotted an abandoned gas station. Against my gut feeling, we decided to stop and refuel. The eerie silence intensified as we approached the dilapidated building. The rusty pumps creaked as we filled the tank, and I couldn't help but feel as if the station itself was inhaling our fear. Resuming our journey, the atmosphere in the car grew tense. Every shadow on the road seemed to morph into sinister figures, and the occasional flicker of headlights from a distant car only added to our growing unease. As we continued, we encountered a hitchhiker standing on the side of the road. Against better judgment, we decided to pick him up. He had an unsettling aura about him, and his eyes held a haunting emptiness. He barely spoke, but his presence seemed to infect the car with a sense of dread. The hitchhiker directed us to take a detour down a narrow and overgrown path. Uneasy, we hesitated, but he insisted it was a shortcut. The path became increasingly darker and more isolated, and the car's headlights struggled to penetrate the thick veil of darkness. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierced the night. We slammed on the brakes, and the car came to a screeching halt. Panic engulfed us as we tried to comprehend what had just happened. We searched frantically for the source of the scream, but the darkness concealed all answers. Shaken, we continued down the eerie path, our hearts pounding with terror. The hitchhiker remained ominously silent, as if he knew what horrors awaited us. The trees seemed to close in on us, and the air felt heavy with malevolence. Finally, we reached a desolate clearing, surrounded by ancient, twisted trees. In the center stood an old, dilapidated mansion that seemed to leer at us with broken windows as eyes. Our instincts screamed at us to leave, but it was as if an unseen force compelled us to approach the mansion. Inside, the atmosphere was suffocating, and the smell of decay lingered in the air. Each creak of the floorboards echoed like haunting whispers. The hitchhiker finally spoke, revealing a chilling tale of a family that once lived there, driven to madness by supernatural entities. The spirits of the deceased family were said to linger, haunting anyone who dared trespass their domain. As the night wore on, we encountered inexplicable phenomena, objects moving on their own, chilling apparitions, and ghostly whispers that echoed through the halls. Fear gripped us tighter with each passing moment, and we realized the hitchhiker was not just a passenger, but a malevolent spirit himself. We desperately tried to escape, but the mansion seemed to play with our minds, leading us deeper into its labyrinthine corridors. My heart pounded in my chest as we were pursued by unseen entities, each step a dance with death. In the end, only 2 of us managed to escape the clutches of the malevolent mansion, forever scarred by the horrors we witnessed that night. The road trip that began as an innocent adventure turned into a nightmarish tale we could never forget, a tale of terror and malevolence that still haunts my dreams to this day.